Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. Your girl, Desiree D. Ray Wise, is back with another one. And today we are going to be discussing the rhythm of love. Okay? The rhythm of love, the flow of love, the dance of love and sacred partnership, the dance of sacred relationships, the dance of spiritual relationships. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Let me, as y'all come in, make sure to share this video like I'm trying to do right now. I'm excited about this build because a lot of times, family, you're not on beat, okay? You're not on beat and you're not in alignment with the manifestation of love. You're not on beat and you're not in alignment with the maintenance of love. And that's what we're going to be talking about today really quickly. So when you come in, say hey, say what's up, all of that good stuff. And do me a favor, like and share the video because this could definitely be beneficial to somebody. Okay. This could definitely be beneficial to somebody. Peace, Jenny. Peace, Chris K. How are y'all doing? Peace, Mystic Storm Spirituality. Your girl just hopping on really quickly because I received this download last night and I want to share with y'all. Shout out to everybody who was already a part of the Sacrament of Sacred Love course. It's going down next Wednesday. Okay, it's going down next Wednesday. So let's talk about this really quick. The rhythm of love. First of all, have y'all ever heard the song The Rhythm of Love by Kindred? The Family Soul, something like that is their name. Kindred, the Family Soul. Have y'all heard about them? Have y'all heard about that group? If so, let me know in the chat. And I'm going to tell you right now, go listen to their song, The Rhythm of Love. Okay? Because their song within itself just gives a beautiful understanding. Okay? Their song within itself just gives a beautiful understanding of how love is literally a dance. Okay? Relationships is literally a dance. And I'm going to be talking to y'all today about three important aspects that you need to know, understand, and master in order for you to be able to manifest and maintain your partnerships. Okay? That's what we're going to be talking about today. All right? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Let me take a moment and share this video to my communities because I want my ladies to get this powerful information. Yes, yes, yes. Want the ladies to be able to get this information. So let me share it with them. All right, good. So, first thing y'all need to understand. First thing y'all need to understand is that timing. Have any of you, y'all let me know in the chat, have any of you ever you met a person who was just dope? Y'all have a good vibe. It seems like y'all's relationship would be good. Okay. Seems like y'all's relationship would be good, but for some reason, the relationship just doesn't unfold in the way that you would desire. For some reason, the relationship just doesn't go to the next level. Have any of you ever had that experience? Thank you, Eileen, for sharing. Thank you, Eileen, for sharing this video to the Sacred Sister Circle. I appreciate you for that, sis. Yes, that's love. But have any of y'all ever had that experience to where it's like, it's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. You're feeling good, you're connecting, but for some reason, it just doesn't transform, convert, or evolve into what you would desire for it to be. Most of the time, in most situations, it's the timing, okay? The timing is off. Whether it is on your end or the other person's end, the timing is off. There's a lack of connection. And when I say timing, I'm meaning what your spirit and what your soul is needing in this moment is not in alignment with what the other person's spirit and soul is needing in the moment. Okay? So, the very first thing that I want y'all to understand that you need to master in the manifestation and in the maintenance of your sacred partnership is you have to know your timing. You have to know what season you are in. Everybody in the chat type seasons. Seasons. Okay? Listen. Sometimes you may be in a season that is calling for commitment. Sometimes you may be in a season that is calling for commitment, that is calling for focused partnership, that is calling for love. Other times you may be in a season where you need to be exploring, where you need to be focusing on yourself, where you need to be determining what type of, you need to be dating, what we call serial dating, where you need to be serial dating for you to know and understand the type of person that you want to commit your life to. And then in other times, in other seasons, you have to be in a space to where you're just focusing on you. You're not dating nobody. You're not engaging with anybody. You are focused on yourself. And one of the major issues that happen when you meet that dope person, where you meet that person where you have a fire connection with and y'all just seem to flow, one of the biggest things that block that relationship from converting and from evolving is your timing is off. This person may be in a space or in the season in their lives where they're serial dating. They like you. They think you cool. There's a vibe there. There's some good energy there. But their spirit is asking them to explore all of their options. Okay? And so family, we have to stop fighting these seasons that we find ourselves in. Okay? Seasons, timing. You have to stop fighting where your spirit is asking you to go. So let's say you are in the season of exploration. Then what's naturally going to happen at that time, this is so funny. What's naturally going to happen at that time is that there are going to be a whole bunch of prospective potential mates that are going to be just entering your space and entering your spirit. You're going to be like, what the hell is going on? Have y'all ever had that before? Okay. I know I had that, right? Before Dream and I got together, I mean, there was so many perspectives, right? There were so many prospects, let's just say that, right? That was happening because I was in a season where my spirit was like, okay, you need to get familiar with yourself in these different situations and circumstances so that you can know what it is that you actually need. Okay. But I know for a lot of women, men, you don't struggle with this, right? Men don't struggle with the serial dating, with having her here and having her here and doing your thing or whatever. And let me say this, serial dating does not mean that you're being sexually intimate with everybody. That's not what that means. It means you're engaging in some conversations, you're going out on dates, you're doing all of these different things, okay? But a lot of times, ladies, let's talk to the ladies. A lot of times, ladies, when you are supposed to be serial dating, when you are supposed to be exploring and learning what it is that you actually need in partnership, you ready to jump the gun and commit. Okay? You ready to make this man your husband. You ready to get engaged. You ready to do all of those things when your spirit is like, hold on. This one man is just showing you an aspect of relationships. This one man is just showing you a part of yourself that you still need to deal with before that love and commitment and that serious partnership and that sacred union actually comes into space, actually comes into your manifestation. Okay? Y'all want to know something that's so good to understand? When you are in a season of exploration, what's actually happening spiritually is you're being able to identify different qualities from these different people that is going to come together in that one person that you are supposed to commit to. Okay? So here's how it works. It's so funny. Like, it's so funny to just observe this. It's so funny to just observe this understanding. So for example, it's like a woman may be exploring with, let's say, 3 guys. This does not mean that she's being sexually active with them. This means she's learning from them. This means she's picking up on things. So one guy she may find very attractive. Okay, spirit, this is what I like it as far as aesthetic goes. One guy she may find absolutely hilarious. She might like, okay, spirit, I need somebody that's funny. Then another guy may be very intuitive. He may be very empathetic. He may be a great listener. Okay, spirit, that's what I need. And so now she's able to say, spirit, I want somebody that's athletically built. I need somebody that's funny. And I need somebody who has an empathetic, empathic ear. I need somebody who's emotionally safe and emotionally vulnerable. But so many times, family, you getting your timing off and you are not understanding what season you are in. Okay? You don't control the seasons. Let me say that again. You don't control the season. All right? And a lot of times you're trying to control the season. You're trying to say, you know what? I want to be in a committed relationship right now. And your spirit is like, okay, you're going to get committed to this one person. And this one person is just going to be another karmic relationship or another traumatic relationship. Yes, you're going to learn. Yes, you're going to grow. Yes, you're going to evolve from it. Yes, all of that is going to happen. But that did not have to be the situation. Okay? That didn't have to be the situation if you would have allowed yourself to stay open and receptive and continue learning. Okay? Timing influences the rhythm of love. Your seasons influences the rhythm of love and how it flows and how it dances. I know this is so true because even with Dream and I, this happened where it was Christmas Eve. And he texts me and he says, hey, I want to go out to eat. I'm like, okay, cool. Mind you, at this time, we were strictly friends. We were just friends. Okay? Just friends. Go to the movies every now and then, go out to eat every now and then, just friends. And literally, we went out to eat on Christmas Eve, which I thought was a little bit different. I was like, on Christmas Eve, you want to go out to eat? This is kind of serious, because Christmas Eve, this is a family time, right? We go out to eat. We're sitting at the restaurant. And out of nowhere, he just says to me, like, I couldn't even be with you right now. And I'm confused because we never not once talked about being together. But there was something in his spirit and his subconscious mind to where he was like, okay, there's something there, but the timing is off. Okay? There was something there, perfect person, right? This feels like you are the right person that I'm supposed to do life with, but for some reason, spiritually and at the soul level, I'm not ready for that level of commitment. For some reason, I'm not ready for that level of love. Have any of you ever had that experience where you meet this person and it's a great vibe, it's a great energy, you have good conversation, all of those good things like that, but for some reason your spirit or theirs is not ready to make that level of commitment? Okay, let me know in the chat if any of y'all have ever had an experience like that, because that's some real shit. And you got to understand that love is a song, love is a dance. It's a beautiful dance and it's a beautiful song. Okay, it's a beautiful dance and it's a beautiful song. But if your timing is off, the music don't come off right. If your timing is off, the music don't sound right. Okay? If you are off beat because you don't understand what season you are in, okay, then you'll manifest somebody that is great for you. They're energetically great for you. They're spiritually good for you. You know that you're going to learn a lot of spiritual lessons and grow with this person and evolve with this person, right? You know that there's great potential for this relationship, but because you don't know what season you are in, or because you're acting out of desperation, or because you're like, I've been single for too long, I got to commit right now, or because you're like, you know what, and it could be the opposite too, where your spirit is like, let's go. It's time for you to make this commitment. It's time for you to do this work. It's time for you to be in sacred partnership. It's time for you to be in sacred union, but you still want to be out here, hoeing, or you still want to think from the perspective of a person that is single. I think that's what was happening with Dream. I think with him, he had more foresight than me in that situation, because I wasn't thinking about it at all. I was thinking at that time, I was in that exploration phase. But something within his subconscious, something within his spirit was like, there's a vibe between us, but it's not the right time for us. And that was so, and and we didn't force that. See, some of y'all may know that you're not you may know that the season you are in right now is not speaking to commitment and one-on-one partnership and ready to take it to that next level. You may know that, but you fight that. You resist that. You go against that energy. You go against that knowing. Why? I'll tell you why. A lot of the times you go against that knowing because you feel like if you don't commit now, the commitment is not going to happen. You go against that knowing because you're like, if this ain't the person, then I'm probably never going to find a person. Okay? You go against that knowing because it's like, I don't want to miss out on something. I'm afraid of missing out. I'm afraid of missing out. Okay? And so you commit to a person in a season where they are not ready and you are not ready. Honey, I've seen it. I've seen it firsthand. Okay? Another person that I'm very close with, that I love dearly, jumped into a relationship, jumped into marriage. I think with the awareness that the timing wasn't right, but because of internal insecurities, okay? Let me tell y'all. Okay, let's talk to the ladies. Let me talk to the ladies who are, let's say you in your 30s. Maybe specifically, let's just do this. Ladies, mid-30s. Never been married, never had a kid. And so the first person that comes into your life that is husband potential, you are ready to commit to. Now that goes into have y'all ever witnessed that? Have y'all ever observed that? That goes into another aspect that we're going to talk about as far as pace goes. Okay? So let me just, there are 3 things that y'all need to understand when it comes down to manifesting your sacred partnership and maintaining it. 3 things. You need to understand timing, you need to understand pace, and you need to understand harmony. Okay? Let me see what Jenny. She says, some of us are in the opposite, laugh out loud. We want to play, but the season is saying commitment and partnership. Yes, sis. Yes. So here's what you got to ask yourself. Jenny. I love that. What you have to ask yourself in those seasons are, what am I actually afraid of in terms of commitment? Okay. What am I actually afraid of in terms of partnership? So true. And that's why understanding your seasons is so important. So how do we even understand the season we are in? Well, one, you have to pay attention to what your subconscious, what your higher self, and what your spirit team is communicating with you. Okay? You have to be able to understand that. Here's a funny thing. Look, Kenton Robinson said cuffing season. Absolutely. And y'all, and cuffing season is not based off of what is happening damn, it's winter time, so it's time to cuff. I mean, I get it, but that's just not, it's just not what it is. I love it though. I love the idea of it. So you know what season you're in based off of the internal communication that is taking place with your spirit guides and your higher self. Okay? Like I just told y'all with Dream. He didn't know. I mean, he said what he said, but it was very spiritual. It was not a planned thing. He just knew within his being that he was not ready for that level of commitment. And what's so deep and spiritual about it is that I wasn't ready. Okay? I wasn't ready for that. So you don't want to run away from that, from whatever the season is, based on a fear of missing out, based on a fear of it won't happen, based on any fear. So you got to ask yourself, am I rushing into commitment because I'm afraid that it won't happen to me? Am I resisting commitment because I'm afraid of vulnerability and I'm afraid of commitment? I'm afraid of that level of work. You got to really ask yourself those questions. Okay? Because so I could only assume, right? I could only assume that when Dreamwise said that to me, he had multiple options of women. That's what I can assume. Actually, I know, right? At that time, he had many women who were wanting to be in relationship with him. Okay? And obviously, he saw something or felt something within me that maybe set me apart from the rest of the other women, but that didn't mean that the other women didn't exist. So seasonally and energetically, if he's reflecting on his life, he can see, okay, I got all of these options right here. I'm really feeling this one right here, but the timing is off because I haven't done the work that I need to do to part ways with these other women in a healthy manner. So my question to you all who are questioning what season you're in, what's happening around you? What's happening around you? Whatever is happening in your external world is a reflection of your internal world. Okay? And so you have to listen to those messages that say it's time to commit. It's time to move forward. It's time to let go of these games. It's time to explore and learn. Some of you have been single for so long and not dating. Some of you have been just telling yourself over and over again, I'm just going to focus on myself. I'm just going to focus on myself. And you think that you're really doing the right thing. And at one point in your life, you were doing the right thing, focusing on yourself. You were in that season. But how many of you know that sometimes you can get comfortable in a season, and when Spirit is trying to move you forward, you resist it? Spirit is trying to tell you, date, explore, engage, see what you like, see what you don't like. But because you've been so comfortable not dating, just being by yourself and taking care of yourself and doing that, because you've been so comfortable in that season, when Spirit is trying to ask you to explore options, you're not doing it. Okay? You have to be able to know what season you are in, what the timing is for you. Okay? When you know what timing and what season you are in, love is able to flow into your life easily, effortlessly. And you're not so heartbroken when things don't work out. If you knew what season you were in, it wouldn't be such a big deal if something did or didn't work out, because you know what Spirit is trying to teach you and mold you in. Okay? Like I was saying with the 30-year-old woman, she has never been married. She don't have kids. I know so many women in their 30s who are so ready to jump to commitment. It's like, I gotta get married right now. I gotta have this baby right now. And they don't know that they're doing that out of a fear of missing out. Okay? I also know women on the other side of that spectrum, 30-something, never married, never had kids, but they're telling themselves, oh no, I can't commit right now. I gotta go travel. I gotta fix up my business. I gotta make sure that I'm making this amount of money. I can't commit right now. Even though they have a beautiful, brilliant, amazing man standing in front of them who is ready and willing to commit to them, but because they feel like they should have the business, they should have the money, they should have went on all of these vacations, because they feel like that's what they're supposed to be doing and who they're supposed to be. They resist the season that their higher self and spirit is asking of them. Okay? So, family, you want to understand timing. You have to be real with yourself, with where you are and what your higher self is calling for you. And this is so important. And I'm glad that we're having this conversation still fairly in the beginning of the year. Because here's the thing. At the beginning of the year, at the end of 2022, your higher self said, this is what you're focusing on this year. You already know it. You may have thought that. You may have forgotten about your goals, your desires, and the work that you need to do. You may have forgotten about it. But I'm here to remind you right now, whatever that thing was, you need to commit to it, because that's the season that your higher self is asking for you to be in. And you have to trust that as you do that specific work, all of the other stuff is going to work out. So let's say one of you ladies in here at the beginning of the year or at the end of 2022 and at the beginning of 2023, your spirit said, you know what, this year you're going to focus on how you are showing up in relationships. Okay, let's say that's the situation for you. Well, you need to explore relationships. Not just your relationship to yourself, not just your relationship to that one person, but your relationships in general. And as you focus on that, the abundance, your home life, and all of those things are going to take care of itself. Okay? Like for me, my focus for this year is focusing on home. It's focusing on my home. Okay? And then I trust that as I spend this season focusing on my home, all of the other stuff, the business stuff, the relationship stuff, the financial stuff, all of that stuff is going to work itself out. But you have to know what season you are in. You have to know what timing you are in. And you cannot move in life out of a fear of things not working out, or a fear of you missing out on something, or out of a fear that you will never have this specific thing. You have to move forward with a certain level of trust and understanding. So timing, know what season you are in. One way to determine what season you are in, like I said, look around at your life. What are you being called towards the most? What is that thing that you keep on having to come back to? What is that thing that you keep on having to focus on? Okay? Like Ankata Healing Touch said. She says, I agree. Spirit told me I was playing myself with I'm working on myself. I need to be challenged with all this self-work. So you know what you're working on. You're working on challenging yourself. You're in the season of putting certain challenges in your life so that you overcome. Stephanie says, this year I'm focusing on finances. That means that every day you should be looking at something on finances. Every day you should be challenging your finances, whether that is every day I'm investing $5 into a stock. Every day I'm learning about trading. Every day I'm learning about investments. Every day I'm learning about savings, so on and so forth. Whenever your spirit, whenever this thing keeps calling out to you, whatever that thing is, whenever you receive that, you have to discipline yourself and structure your daily life around that work. So for those of you who love and relationships has been calling out to you, good. That's why I'm here to help you. Okay. I'm here to definitely help you with that understanding. So you have to look around when you're trying to figure out your season, look at your life holistically and determine what keeps calling out to you. It may be a relationship. It may be self-work. It may be vulnerability. It may be home. It may, whatever that is, focus on it and have faith and know that everything else is going to work itself out. Another way to determine what season you are in, meditate on it, people. Dream on it. Ask yourself the question, what season am I in? Specifically in terms of relationship, am I supposed to be focusing on commitment? Am I supposed to be focusing on exploring what I actually desire from relationships? What do I really need? Am I supposed to be focusing on who I am and how I want to show up in love and relationships? Okay. Timing is a major part of the rhythm and the flow and the unfoldment of sacred love. Timing. Some of y'all are connecting with beautiful people, powerful people, but because the season you are in and the season they are not in alignment, the relationship hasn't worked or it's not working. So you have to trust and allow the time to shape shift and do what it needs to do. Let me tell you, can I tell y'all about the second thing you have to understand about the rhythm of love? Let me know in the chat if I can tell y'all about the second thing. First thing is timing, knowing what season you are in. Shout out to everybody who was a part of the Sacrament of Sacred Love. Let me go ahead and drop a link for the Sacrament of Sacred Love. Yes, 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 yes. Shout out to y'all who are already a part of that. I love it. I love it. I love it. If y'all don't know, if you don't know, I am having a 6-week course that is starting February 1st. 6-week course starting February 1st, the Sacrament of Sacred Love. And I'm so excited about it. I am so excited about it because we are literally going to be, I'm able to talk to y'all the way that I'm talking to you now because the Sacrament of Sacred Love is on a whole nother level. We're talking about literally activations and transformations that are specifically for the people that are in the class, right? You can't make it up. It's just whatever it is that you need to hear, whatever it is that you need to receive, you're going to receive it in that course. Okay. 6 weeks of good work. All right. So we got yes, yes, yes. We want to hear more. Awesome. The other thing that you have to master and understand in your sacred unions and manifesting them and maintaining them, the other thing that you have to understand is pace. Put pace in the chat. Put pace in the chat. Pace. Some of y'all will meet somebody. Okay, listen, this may be triggering for some of you. This may be triggering, but I love you. I say it in love. Some of you will meet somebody, you'll have a vibe, and after a few months, you're ready to get married. After a few weeks, you're ready to get married. Or on the opposite side, we have, oh, yes, this would be women too. On the opposite side, you meet somebody, great vibe, great energy, and they say, you know what, I want to be with you. I'm really feeling you. I want to be with you. I want to be in a committed partnership with you. And you're like, ooh, I don't know. I'm still kind of having fun. I know we've been kicking it. I know we've been enjoying each other. I know we've been having a good time. And I know I'll be spending the night at your house. You spend the night in my house. We got a whole vibe going on, but I'm just not ready. We know people who fall in both of those categories. Whether you have a great person in your life, you have somebody that you're absolutely vibing with, and you instantly want to be husband and wife. Okay. Or you have that where it's a great vibe and it's good, but now you're afraid of that commitment. Now you're afraid of, okay, let's do this. Pace. Something so funny about Dream and I that it always sticks out to me, and I'll never forget this. I remember Dream and I had already been dating, and he had met my father for the first time. So sweet. So we go, my daddy was like, okay, we're going bowling. I want to meet your dude. Let's go bowling. So we get to the bowling alley and we're having a good time, having fun, bowling. Mind you, at this time, Dream and I were both working out like crazy. Like we were exercising a lot. So our bodies were in hella great shape. And he's already super tall, right? He's already super tall. But add that height with swollenness and a dude that is exercising a lot. So we go meet my daddy, we go bowling, and we're just having a good time. And it was great. And I vividly remember my daddy saying to me, y'all about to get married and like have kids. I'm like, Daddy, what you talking about? Like, why are you jumping the gun? Why are you speeding up our pace of our relationship? And my daddy was just like, nah, I could just see it. I could just see it. That's about to happen. And sure enough, a little while later, we were at that level in our relationship. So pace. Here's how you know you have the right pace. You have the right pace in your relationship when both of you just seem to be on the same page. Your desires are the same. The speed at which you want these desires to happen are the same. And there's no fuss, there's no fight, there's no ultimatum. Okay? There's no fuss, there's no fight, there's no ultimatum. Ladies, if you ever have to say to a guy, make this commitment or we ain't talking no more. Or fellas, because some men do it too. If you don't want to make this commitment, we ain't talking no more. Y'all are not on the same pace. You're not on the same pace as far as how fast or the speed at which the relationship is unfolding. And when you're not on the same pace, baby, one of y'all is off beat. One or both of y'all is off beat. And therefore, the rhythm of love is not flowing. The music of love is not flowing in the way that it is meant to. Pace. Okay? What affects the pace of relationship? The fear of missing out and the fear of vulnerability. Some people want to jump and get married so fast. You know, you've been talking to this person for a few weeks and already you own them. You're possessive of them. What you doing? Where you at? What's going on? What's happening? Da 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 da. Y'all just now started connecting and you already like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. What is that? Y'all really have to ask yourself, what is that? Now, don't get it twisted. Oh, Spirit just said, you know what? Oh, I'm okay. All right. Let me say this because this is a whole channel coming through. For those of you who are in a relationship, I'm telling y'all, stop rushing. Stop rushing. Here's what you need to do, actually. If you have a relationship, you're dating, you're figuring this thing out, you're trying to figure out if this person is for you, when, how, whatever, y'all need to do a fast. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. You need to do a fast. First of all, let's just say this. If that person is not willing to commit to a fast with you, then you already know what that relationship is. The timing is off. The pace is off. The harmony is off. If you are in a prospective relationship, right? You have this one prospect, and this prospect is like, I'm digging you, you digging me. Let's figure this thing out. Let's say y'all are in a relationship. Y'all have decided, okay, we're together, but you haven't decided to the extent that you're together. You haven't decided, okay, you are with me, I'm with you, we're doing this thing, and it's exclusive. You haven't decided, let's get married, let's get engaged, or maybe you have, but you haven't second guessed it. You questioning, you second guessing it. Fast. Do a fast together. 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 1 day, doesn't matter. When you do that fast with the intention of getting answers on your relationship, especially when you do it together. Now, if the person is not willing to do it, that's a big deal. That's a big aha moment that you need to take hold of. But even if you just need to do it by yourself so that you can get clarity, do it. Okay? Here's why you need to do it in terms of finding the rhythm, the pace, the timing, the season, and the harmony of your relationship. Here's why you need to do it. You need to fast for your relationship because a lot of the times, family, a lot of what you're doing in relationship is a trauma response. Okay? A lot of it is based off on the past experience, something scary, something heartbreaking that happened, whether it's, oh, I love that. I love that. Let me show what she just said. I love that. She said, some people mimic your desires. Exactly. So when you fast in terms of for relationship understanding, when you fast for an intention of understanding where you are within a relationship, all of the delusions all of the illusions are going to be seen. And then you'll know how to move forward. Fast. Okay? Because somebody may be presenting themselves and it may look like, oh, this is the perfect thing. Or you may be afraid of that commitment, right? Like Jenny said, some of you may have a great quality person in your life, but because of your own fear, right? Because of your own resistance, you fail to make that connection and solidify that relationship. So you still need to fast because you need to be able to see clearly what a person is presenting and what you are presenting, how you are showing up. Okay? Something you have to understand in relationships is pace. You know you are tapping into something divine and sacred when you are just on the same page. You're on the same page at the same time. There's no fuss, there's no fight, there's no ultimatum. And it doesn't feel rushed. It just feels right. Not rushed, just right. Do you understand? Okay? Not rushed, just right. Okay? It does not end well when you feel like you have to rush. It does not end well when you are rushed. Marry me or else. Let's go ahead and get married. Let's go ahead and be together because you already know we already got a vibe. Let's go ahead and get married. No. Pace. Pace yourselves. Okay? Pace. And at the same time, ladies, if you're in a relationship and somebody is dragging their feet, you may not be the one for that person. And that's okay. Wouldn't you rather know and understand, okay, this has been fun, this has been good, but it's been 2 years, it's been 3 years, it's been 5 years, it's been 6 years, and we haven't validated our connection. Now, let me make a side note. This is not about going to the courthouse and saying we're married. But there does need to be a level of expression, not just physical expression, okay? Not just, yeah, we together, babe. Yeah, just take my word for it. Nah, that don't work. That doesn't work. You want to know why? Because in the background of specifically women, let's just be real, in the background of that woman's mind, when y'all just been, you may have kids together, you may have just been together for years, whatever. In the back of that woman's mind, she's like, at any moment, he can decide to leave. So you do have to do something. You have to do some form of expression that says, I am committed to you and we are doing this thing. Does that make is that clear, family? I want to make sure that's clear. It's not about just going to the courthouse, even though that, whatever. It's not about that. It's not about that. But there needs to be a clear understanding that you and that other person are on the same page. Okay? One of you may be on the page of, this is good. I like this. I'm feeling this. And the other person is on the page of, let's get married. Okay? Pace. How a relationship unfolds. The unfolding. You have to know where you are. You have to ask yourself, have I fully, for people who are, because we've all experienced both sides of this thing, right? You've been with somebody that was like, y'all just met like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and they already like, damn, you the one. You the one I gotta be with. Honey, let me tell you, and I know this may make some uncomfortable. That's okay. In that first month, you don't even know that person. You don't know that person. Let me tell you, in the first 6 months, you don't really know that person. That's just the truth. Okay? That's just the truth. So be very particular when it comes down to deciding that you want to commit your life to somebody. Pace. There's just this divine timing where you just know, you just get it. And sometimes it may be unclear. Sometimes it may be unclear in the midst as it's happening, as it's unfolding. You may be like, I don't know. Okay. This is another thing where you have to learn to trust your higher self. This is another thing where you have to learn to tune in to your higher self, your spirit team, and listen. But you want to know one of the major issues that people have is that they don't know the difference between their higher selves and their ego. You don't know the difference between intuition and ego. And so you'll think it's your higher self saying, oh yeah, he the one. He the one. Yeah. He the one. Be with him. That's him. And that's really your ego or that wounded child that is just seeking and searching for validation through a relationship. I've seen it. I've literally witnessed and observed this. Okay. I've also seen the opposite, where there's this great person and there's this divine sacred connection and vibe. But one of the other people involved cannot see past, certain qualities that the other person is presenting. A great example of this, my older brother, who actually just had a baby. He just had his baby on the 21st. So congratulations to them. I have a new nephew. New nephew just was born 2 days ago. And his girl, and see, this is why people, the mother of his child right now already had 3 children. I know people are like, what? He's dating this girl who already had 3 children. He's committed his life to a girl who already had 3 children. Yes. See, ego would have you be like, oh, no, he is crazy. What in the hell is he thinking? Da, 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 da. Let me tell you something so divine. Let me tell you something so divine about it. My brother had been in multiple committed relationships. Relationship unfolding. The pace of the relationship seems to be going great, seems to be going perfect. But right when he gets to that point of wanting to have children, wanting to build a family with this person, something happens. Argument happens, disagreement happens, fighting happens, and the relationship ends. And if he would have been moving forward with his ego, this woman who got 3 kids that he meets in Miami would have totally been canceled. Okay? Wouldn't have given her the time of day. But something in his spirit was like, no, you need to talk to her. You need to build with her. And they had so much in common. It was so funny, y'all. They met in Miami. And they're like, okay, what's up with you? Where you from? Oh, I'm from Houston. Oh, shit, I'm from Houston too. Okay, cool. That's a cool little connection. And then they keep going. Their birthdays are a week apart. They just keep going and keep going and keep going, keep unfolding. And they realize how much they deeply have in common and how deeply they have already been connected. Okay? And then my brother, let me tell y'all. Okay? I hear you, butterfly silver 444. Butterfly purple silver 444. I hear that. I get you. It's, sometimes a baby can be to lock you down. I 100% get that. But my brother had challenges with conceiving. Literally, he thought that he could not have children. How many of you know that it wasn't about his ability to have children? It was about who he was going to have a child with. See, you cannot make this stuff up when it comes down to divine union, sacred partnership, sacred love, spiritual partnership. You cannot make it up. Your ego cannot fathom this stuff and how these things are going to unfold. My brother had been in multiple committed relationships. I'm long term, I'm talking about years of being with certain people, and a child never manifested through that relationship. And having a child is a form of pace. Having a child, having a baby speaks to the pace of a relationship, the unfoldment of the relationship, the speed of a relationship. That's a part of it. Okay? With all of these other women, when you get to that point of when y'all gonna have kids, y'all been together 3 years, when y'all gonna get married, have kids, do the whole family thing, and it didn't happen. Okay, now with this woman who already had multiple children, now after 3 years of them being together, they conceive. Okay, so you have to pay attention to the voice of ego and the voice of intuition, because a lot of times your ego, will tell you, nah, that ain't the person. Or your ego will tell you, girl, that's the person. You better marry him now. Based off of your wounds, based off of your traumas. So you have to be able to understand that aspect. Okay. Love Sky 99. My person mirrored how I was in the past relationships, cold and distance, made me change my ways. 14 years together, showed me I needed to show love in order to receive it. Eye opener for real. Absolutely. That's it. That's how this thing works. Now, here's the next thing. Appreciate the love, Butterfly Silver 44. Appreciate the love, Mad Titan. I appreciate y'all for that. You have to be able to tell the difference between those two voices. You have to be able to tell the difference between ego and intuition. Sometimes your intuition is going to say things that you may not like. You hear me? Sometimes your intuition may say things. Your intuition doesn't always tell you everything's is butterflies and roses. And best believe sometimes your ego is telling you everything's is butterflies and roses. I like that. Yes. The mind and heart / intuition needs to agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. And when they do agree, this is how you know you are entering into sacred partnership. Okay? I have another family member that I love whose heart and mind were not agreeing when they decided to get married. Just got to tell y'all. Okay? His mind was like, yeah, she cool. His mind was like, she cool, she good, you know what I mean? She held me down, at this time, and I think it could be good. But his heart was like, if it's really real, I could probably take my time. I don't got to rush. They got married after like 2 or 3 months of like being together, literally. And now, 2 years of marriage and 2 children later, they are officially separated. And it's not because either one of them is a bad person. Neither one of them are bad people. Both of them are good people. But they didn't allow for the divine unfoldment and the divine pace of their relationship. And here's why. Because one of them, the female in the relationship, was like, I'm afraid I'm missing out. If I don't get married and have a kid right now, it's probably not going to happen. So I need to marry you immediately right now. And then on the other side, the male in the situation was like, okay, feeling a little insecure. I don't really know myself. This woman is ready to commit to me right now, and I don't have anything. Didn't have the job, had the degree, but didn't have the job, didn't have the money. This woman is ready to commit to me, and I don't have nothing. She must be the one. That's logic. That's the mind. That's not the heart. And so instead of giving themselves a specific pace for their relationship to unfold and for them to come to understand what they really need in partnership, instead of allowing that to happen, they jumped and got married because one was like, I'm missing out. I'm already 33. I don't have no kids, never been married. I got to do it now. My internal clock is running out. The other one is like, I'm not really sure of myself, and she's accepting me even when I don't know me. She must be the one. Time passed, the relationship doesn't work. Okay? So we have to understand the divine pace and the divine flow. And you have to trust that you're higher. You have to learn the difference in these voices, and you do that through meditation. Through meditation and understanding your wounds, understanding your trauma, understanding your beliefs. When you know that, when you understand that, then you can move at a pace that works for both people, and it doesn't feel rushed, it doesn't feel forced. It unfolds divinely, and you receive everything that you need to receive from it. Last thing that I'm going to give you, I'm trying to make this quick. The last thing is harmony. Can your light and can your dark mix and meld with the other person's light and with the other person's dark? We all have our darkness. We all have our shadows. We all have our light. We all have those things that make us great, those good and powerful qualities. We all have that. But sometimes those things don't harmonize well. For example, if I have a shadow side that is aggressive and that's a fighter, and Dream has a shadow side that's aggressive and that's a fighter, that's not going to be good harmony, because we'll be aggressive and actually fighting. Okay? Do we understand? So you have to tap in with the understanding of, does my light and his dark, can they mix? Can my darkness and his light, can they mix? Can we understand? Can we blend? Can we come together in a healthy way? Some of you are ignoring that harmony. Some of you can look at a person and say, yeah, no, that quality, that character, that energy doesn't mix well with my energy. Doesn't mix well with my energy, doesn't work for me, but I'm going to ignore that. And I want you to understand that that goes against the rhythm of love. There is a flow, there is a dance, right? That's why they call it, when we make love, we make music. Why do they say that? Because literally there is a rhythm, there is a dance, there is a flow, there's a melody to love, and harmony is one of those things. Okay? I'm hella sensitive. Let me tell you, I am very sensitive, and I stand on that shit now. I am a very emotional being. I feel things very deeply. I can feel things that are not being said. That's how I do the work that I do. I feel things very, very deeply. I can read energy very, very deeply. Emotional energy, subconscious, unconscious energy. I can tap into that shit for real. And so Dream on the opposite side is not very, he's not an emotional being. He's very, I don't want to, I can say logical, but he's non-emotional. Like, things don't really bother him emotionally, which works for us, because when I'm very emotional, he needs to not be. Because if we're both very emotional, this is a toxic situation. Some of you women are hella emotional, and you're trying to be in a relationship with a man who's hella emotional, and it's no harmony, it's no balance. Okay? Harmony. Okay, what we're talking about is, can your light and can your dark mix well with the other person's light and with the other person's dark? Okay? Dream is very funny. I'm a little bit more straight, I'm a little bit less funny than him. That works for us. All right? But if you have two people who are not, let's talk about it in this way. Let's say you have two people who are non-emotional. They don't know how to tap into their emotions. They lack emotional intelligence. They whatever. What type of relationship is that? Okay? It doesn't work. Harmony. So in order to have great harmony in your relationships, you have to be able to understand what your light and what your dark is. What are your wounds? Okay? What are your wounds? What are your traumas? What have made you to be the person that you are? And you have to be honest in your observation of the other person. And the other person has to be able to speak to their wounds. Oftentimes, it's the opposing wounds that blend well together, Let me talk about it. Let's talk about Dream Wise. Dream Wise grew up very independent. Very independent. So he comes from the perspective of, I can do it myself. I got this. I can do it myself. I came up very interdependent, almost codependent on my mother, right? My mother's going to do. My mother's going to make sure I have everything that I need. My mother's always going to provide. And I'm not saying that Dream's mom doesn't, because she does. But he, as a boy to a single mom, he's a go-getter. Me, as the only girl to a single mom, my mom is like, what you need? How can I show up? What I got to do? Da, 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 da. So those are two of our opposites, and it mesh when we create balance with it. So like when it comes to our kids, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give them a little bit of help. Let me give them a little bit of help, and then they got to figure out the rest on their own. That's us creating that balance. But let's say you are in a relationship with somebody who is codependent, and you hella codependent too. Now you just got codependency happening in a relationship, and nobody can stand on their own 2 feet. Or let's say you have a relationship where both of you are independent as hell, and you think from this perspective of, I don't need nobody. Now, when you're in your relationship, you take each other for granted because you got this belief system, you got this trauma response going on in your mind that says, I don't need anybody. I can do this all by myself, and I'm da 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 da. It's all trauma. Or think about it like this. Here's a real good one. I know somebody like this. You got a mama's boy and a daddy's girl. Them 2 things, they gonna fight. They gonna fight because you believe that the other person is supposed to do everything for you. They're supposed to wait on you hand and foot. So if you want to create good harmony within your relationship, and you want to embrace the rhythm of love, you need to understand timing. You need to understand the pace. Timing, meaning what season you are in life. What is life asking of you in this specific season? You need to understand pace, the speed at which the relationship unfolds. Don't rush. Don't rush, but also don't drag your feet. Ask your higher self, what am I supposed to be doing right now? And then lastly, harmony. Can your light and can your dark mix and meld with that other person? Don't ignore the signs. Okay? Don't ignore the signs. Really be honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And at the same time, give yourself the space and grace to grow and heal. And as you grow and heal, the other people around you will also grow and heal. Even in your committed relationships, people change. My timing and Dream's timing is not exactly the same. Okay? What I think we should be doing and what he thinks we should be doing, it may not exactly be the same. Okay? But because we have good harmony, we're able to allow each other their space, their timing, and all of that good stuff like that. All right? That's my quick message for y'all. Let me hop off of here. Didn't want to be on here long. Understand this energy. Observe this energy within yourself. Really observe this energy within yourself. And if you're interested in joining the Sacrament of Sacred Love, where I'm going to be doing just spiritual activations left and right pertaining to love and relationships, if that's something you're interested in, click that link that I just dropped, and I'll see y'all in the class. We'll be talking soon. Oh, yeah. Y'all make sure y'all join us. Dream and I, we're going to be going live tomorrow morning. Make sure y'all tap in. Peace.